Denver, it's time for us to decide what kind of future we want. It's time to decide if we want to keep doing the same things that we've been doing for the last 30 years that brought us to this point, or do we want to try something different? My name is Carter Hanson. I'm a 27-year-old substitute teacher and environmental scientist whose lab was defunded because Republicans don't want you to know what's in the water. I'm running for the Democratic nomination to the House of Representatives in Colorado District 1. I want to be an advocate for our environment, workers, young people, and anyone who's dissatisfied with the current direction of the Democratic Party. We need to do something because our party is in trouble. We've now lost 2 elections to the most obviously corrupt, stupid, racist probable pedophile to ever reside in the White House. And it's not hard to see why. Our party elites don't stand for anything. They promise voters nothing, violate our most basic principles of human rights, and then sneer down their noses at us for not being soulless sellouts like they are. And then they act surprised when they lose. Let me be clear. The Democratic Party needs to offer a stronger contrast with the Republicans. We can't do that with the same people we've had in power since the 1990s. That's why I'm running. I think I offer a good balance between representing young people in the working class and also have some unique professional experience to draw on. People don't want to hear environmental messaging from some rich lawyer who's just repeating what a consultant told them to say. Instead, they might be more receptive to that message from someone who learned about it from in the field, showing up at industrial sites at 5 a.m. in my hard hat and high-vis to move around 500-degree steel tubes to get an air emissions test done. I'm not the greatest environmental science expert in the world, but I have put more effort into understanding this issue than pretty much everyone in Congress. Find me someone there who's tested 12 power plants, 5 cement furnaces, 2 steel mills, 2 gas distribution sites, and a glass recycler. You can't, because there's nobody in Congress who's done that. And if I could have gone to more plants, I would have. Getting paid to get way up in the guts of some industrial site and learn how it worked was a pretty great job perk, especially for me. Unfortunately, the private air emissions testing industry was and is too corrupt for a person like me to last long. Shocker. Having polluters pay for their own regulation is a system that's designed to fail. In early 2023, I was wrongfully fired when I ran my mouth online about the rampant regulatory capture in air emissions testing. While I maintain that my former employer voided any confidentiality agreement between us by breaking 2 Colorado state laws when they whistleblower retaliated against me over an online anonymous comment, I'd also like to cover my ass. So let's just say that, allegedly, it's my opinion, that there's some dickless failure at the Suncor refinery whose job it is to read through month-old Reddit threads at 10 a.m. on a Friday morning looking for contractors to whistleblower retaliate against. That's what you're paying for when you gas up a car in the Denver metro. So when it comes to policing the oil industry, you know I can be trusted because it's just a little bit personal for me. And now you know that we need that because it is very personal for them. And now, 2 years later, greedy conservatives have once again derailed my life and the lives of millions of Americans for the crime of wanting a better world. And our centrist party elites have completely failed to protect us. No more. We're kidding ourselves in the environmental field if we think we can fix things without getting our hands dirty in politics. We've got all the technology we need to fix the world. We just need to make it actually legal to use technology to help people for a change. We're up against people who want to rule the world through fear and control because they were born rich. They hate that an ordinary person can work hard and discover what the truth actually is. The Republican aristocracy and their centrist enablers want the truth to be whatever the richest man says it is. Let me talk about one particular lie that the Trump regime is pushing on us. The one where he singled out one of our communities by name as a target for their racist Gestapo. Aurora, the community where I substitute teach. The people that the regime are targeting are not gang members. They're scared 14-year-old girls with no other place to call home. There is no other word to describe it. These people running our country are evil. They have nothing to offer, nothing but oppression, and they don't know how to make anything but pain and suffering. If we want to stop them, and we have to stop them, we're going to have to make a change in this party. We have to have new voices that can attract new voters. Because otherwise, this party will continue to lose elections and fail to protect the American people from an army of mediocre fascist men who are bent on destroying anything good about this country because they're not smart or hardworking enough to contribute anything worthwhile. So let me represent you, Denver. Let me be the Democratic Party's scalpel on climate. Help me show the American people that there is a difference between us and the Republicans, that we're not afraid of new ideas, and that we will not sacrifice the most vulnerable among us for the convenience of our conservative donor class. Not the neurodivergent or LGBT community at home or oppressed peoples abroad. If you want to change your vote in Washington from a yes to a no to funding unjust foreign wars, if you want a rep who will treat the climate crisis like an emergency so we can actually have some hope for the future, if you want to be represented by someone who understands today's issues because I'm dealing with them too, then vote for me in the Colorado District 1 Democratic primary next year. Thank you for taking the time to listen to what I've had to say. If you'd like to know more about my campaign, you can check out my website at carteradoteam.org, where you can see more about my positions, contact the campaign about your concerns, or let us know if you're interested in joining the team. Also, if you're able, it would be really cool if you could slide a broke 27-year-old a couple bucks so I can actually pay to run this thing. Now, at the end of the day, Denver, it's important to remember that no matter who you are and what you do to live, thrive, and survive, there are still some things that make us all the same. Let's take the future back.